Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
And I'm Alex from the NorthernGameNetwork.com and the Tag Me podcast.
And this is Netrunner with TeamworkCast. This is Store Championship in Hiveworld Cologne on the 28th of March 2015. And on the left we have me playing Max from Punk Rock, and on the right we have Daniel playing HB and the fun, engineering the future.
I'm very excited to see Daniel playing with his new Northern Gaming Network playmat, and that's a great looking identity, I think. Shaking hands with the Bioroid.
It looks good on that playmat. How did Daniel win this playmat?
Daniel won this playmat with a very interesting contest of my own. That was, he decided to destroy one of his cards for me and fold a paper crane out of an origami card. So he made me an origami.
No longer tournament legal at this point,
yes.
but so awesome. Yeah, definitely. And we have a handshake here, and we begin immediately. As Max, my ability is that I will discard 2 cards at the beginning of my turn from my draw pile, and then draw a card without spending a click. And then, of course, Daniel's ability with HB is that he will get a credit every time the first time he installs, I think.
Yep. First time each turn to install a card. So there he goes, gaining his credit. Install with just over R&D there so far.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking about second install. There's going to be install.
Install a little amount.
Getting a credit. Ooh.
That's very dangerous against Max, considering the very heavy account siphon option that some Max players will run.
And also Wanton Destruction first turn would be also devastating.
Also a great turn would be Wanton Destruction.
But we have to assume that he doesn't have any valuable cards on hand, because otherwise he would have protected that, right? Or maybe
I agree.
It's difficult to tell, but Max, everything is vulnerable.
It is true, especially where you see you already have the Eater in your heap there, so you're ready to recur. Do a retrieval run, although you do have a retrieval run thrown away.
I guess I have to déjà vu. Yeah, I have to déjà vu the retrieval run, and then I can get the Eater.
So Adonis' campaign he was setting up, you trash right away. I think that's a really good call. You don't want to let him get his economy started.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been playing HB for a long time, and I know that it's possible to. Eventually HB will get the economy they need, but if you can hold it off, it slows it down so much.
Oh, okay. Here we see a Biotic Labor from his hand, so this could be a fast advanced deck that he's going with from the looks of it.
Yeah, that was something I was trying to figure out, because I asked him what kind of HB is that, because you don't see HB so often these days. And
that's true. It's hard to say. Go ahead.
No, I guess that answered the question for me right there. Okay, this is probably going to do some kind of fast advanced thing.
Absolutely. I really like your art sleeves there. Inside job.
Oh, yeah. There's no good runner sleeves except from Inside Job, I feel. Like, all of them are like Reina Roja, I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially for Anarchs. Like, why didn't they put like a parasite on them or something? You know,
Parasite would have been scary. It's like the snare sleeves that you run those as a Jinteki player, and it's scary to look at those.
Yeah, exactly. And so the same thing with Parasite would have been great. All right, so he gets a Jackson out, and I discard David and the same old thing, and play a Shurgambler.
Will get yourself back up. Yep.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit of recursion thrown away, but that's not too bad. You've probably got some good stuff you picked up too at the same time.
So I run on his R&D because, hey, HQ doesn't seem very that there seems to be nothing important on HQ. So let's see what R&D has to offer. And there is, of course, an Architect.
And he's choosing his cards because you don't have any breakers out yet. So that's going to fire. He's going to install a card from Archives in the top 5, keeping them in the same order. And then either from his hand or from Archives, he'll be able to install paying the cost from hand or Archive for his second subroutine now.
Yeah, it was really horrible because I trashed, I think, those Adonis campaign, and he couldn't get it technically.
Yeah, he could just throw that right back in. Or even here would be a great move to, what click I think is this? Is still your first click, right?
I think it's first one, yes.
So, okay, that would be really dangerous for him to put down an agenda at this point.
It'd
be risky. It might be it might be worthwhile.
Let's see about that. Sometimes you don't have a good choice with the Architect. Sometimes you just get like a vein of agendas in there, and it's like, whatever I do, it's going to be horrible. All right, so he gets out another thing. The cool thing with an Architect is, of course, that you get credit for this install as a HP, because that's a different turn. That's the runner's turn now.
That's right. That's a really good trick.
Oop! And he did install an agenda there.
Look, trying to be a little sly there, and he installs an agenda in the Sansan. Okay. You had the money to trash. That's really good.
Yeah.
You saw the biotic. That's really key. So knowing that he has the money to res that and to score. So trashing that was very, very important.
Yeah, but of course, he's taxing monetarily. He draws a lot of cards with Jackson. I really should have trashed the Jackson as well, because now he will be able to get the ice that he needs right now.
That's true. It would set you back, however, only being at 5 credits right now. If you were to trash the Jackson, it would be 2 turns before you could use another Sure Gamble or something similar.
That's true. And of course, there's always this problem that you want to always trash the Jackson before you trash any other things, because then he can back the other things back.
Exactly.
Well, it always feels like so disappointing. Like, I guess I can now run on Jackson, and now you can back the sense in that I just spent 6 credits or 5 credits to trash.
That's
Thanks.
right.
Yes.
So we did get a glimpse of his hand there for a second, and we did see an NAPD in hand, but I didn't see much else.
That's very much possible.
Trashing 3 from his hand?
Yeah, he drew a lot of stuff. He really needs to get rid of all those things. And I'm just discarding 2 Armitage Code Bustings and drawing a card.
That's a lot of economy that ended up in the trash just there.
Yeah. And also, that's a new tweak on my deck, because I used to use liberated accounts, but I switched to Armitage Code Busting.
Okay. And I think for Worst No Influence, I think Armitage Code Busting is much more efficient. Particularly in Max, you're playing so quickly, you don't have time to get the gains back from the liberated.
And that's what I realized, is that quite often I would find myself at 0 credits, and I really need money right now, and I draw into liberated accounts, and I spend like an entire turn to just get the 4 credits to play liberated accounts. I really needed something more quicker, and the money difference is not that big. Quite often I'm also like tagged anyway, so it's basically the same thing. They will trash it anyway.
So you play a little bit of a Tag Me Max. You don't. You won't shed.
I don't play Tag Me Max, but I just so often just end up with tags.
End up with them.
Because Max just doesn't care. She's a honey badger,
That's
she
right.
She just runs.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
Run into everything. So this is another. We ran on the Jackson here, so he trashes it and puts in all 3 face down cards, or one. He left 1 face down card.
Yeah, because I ran on Archives, and instead of accessing, I installed the Hades Shard right now.
Oh, okay. So he popped the Jackson. Very, very good idea.
Yeah, he popped the Jackson, and I knew that there's probably no agenda in there anymore, so I just popped the Hades Shard.
So an interesting timing rule there for those at home. You can ask if they're going to access before you pop the Jackson, because the Jack-out window, there's a paid-ability after the Jack-out window. So that's always a key factor. If you don't want to pop that Jackson, make sure you ask if they're going to access before you pop the Jackson.
And also, but I don't think I think I can decide whether I want to use the Hades Shard after the Jackson window, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm not exactly sure how this works.
Yeah, if you put the Hades Shard down and he decides not to use the Jackson, you could then pop the Hades Shard.
And this is a hilarious moment. I ran on HQ again to see, and I see a Sherlock.
A Sherlock. What a very interesting choice of ice there.
Yeah, and I have to read this again because I don't remember what it is.
That may be the first time I've seen anyone use Sherlock in an event.
Yes, so this is exciting now. I'm still trying to figure out what this deck does. And apparently, this is the round number 3. It's a top table, so this runner clearly knows what he's doing.
So Sherlock is 2 strength, 2 different trace subroutines. Is that right? Mm-hmm. But I don't remember off the top of my head what they do.
Should I look it up right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm looking it up at the same time here.
It's a Bioroid, so you can click through it like with every other Bioroid.
And that's right.
There we go. It's a 5 strength sentry, and the subroutines do, if successful, add 1 installed program to the top of the runner's stack. There's a trace 4 in front of that.
Okay, yeah, so trace 4, add 1 installed program to the top of the runner stack. So it just slows them down a little bit.
Yeah, but it's very conditional. Like, you kind of have to click through it, and if you don't click through it, there's still a trace. So there's some conditions going on.
A lot of conditions, and of course, you don't have any rig set up yet, so there's nothing for him to put on the top of your stack.
So that's not something I'm afraid of right now, yeah.
Although I do like the idea of having that against a Max, perhaps. Oh, look at that, a great pick from
another score.
HQ. Scoring. It looks like, is that a project for Vitruvius? Accelerated beta test.
It was a project with Vitruvius.
Okay. A little tricky to see on the screen there, but that's okay.
Yeah. We the resolution is not quite as high with our transmission here. Right. So that's I'm trying to fan out my. I think we see a score.
Yes, here we go. We got the biotic labor install, paying a whole bunch of credits for his biotic, and both advancing. Okay.
Ooh, and it is a Director's Haas pet project.
That is. Yep.
Now he can
I don't think I've seen that played a whole lot either.
It's surprisingly good. Like,
Yes.
people don't play it, but it's surprisingly good because now he can like create a small server out of things that were already discarded, and out of things from his hand. So yeah, he can do that right now. He can, for example, get back his Sand and stuff like that.
That is. I like the intro. This is an interesting build for HB here. It's clearly especially it's kind of a manipulation of your archives and R&D.
Yeah,
So-
and also fast advance, but also a little bit Glaciaresque. Glaciaresque. There we go.
Very much. I mean, HB is always going to have that ability to be Glacier, I think, at any point.
Yeah.
So, especially with this version, you get that credit every time you install something. So you're always going to just even another piece of ice. You get that second row of ice for free. Assets.
Yeah.
Anything. That's just a great little money bump.
Yeah, you just want to install a card every turn. Every turn, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh no!
Sensory alert there.
There's flip-ups going on, and I have to whack them, them away. And so a lot of thinking going right now. I want to keep up the pressure, but he's slowly closing off there. He installed a Sandstone behind this ice here, and I have to assume that there's some kind of ice that can keep me out. I did score 4 points though, so could be
Yeah, I mean,
worse.
he's only have 1 point now. You're up 4-1, and you do have available tools in the trash. To me, it's got to be if you want to do what Maxx normally does. Is this a keyhole, Maxx? I should ask.
There's a keyhole in there.
There's
Yeah.
a keyhole in there. So I mean, you could draw for it. Try because that Eli is going to be in your way,
Yeah.
and that Architect is kind of a pain if he's going to continue to install off it.
Yeah, I kind of think, I guess at this point where Max has to start thinking about breakers. Especially, Architect is really bad because you cannot fork it.
That's right.
So you need a breaker for it, and it's not going to be cheap. So I don't know, Keyhole is kind of already out of the question because Keyhole you want to really do quite often.
Yeah, you'd like to be able to do that, 2 to 3 times a turn. Even 4 times a turn but that's tough to have the credits for it with an Architect in the way.
So I just get up credits. He also doesn't do much. I play Deja Vu and get back my Eater. So there we go.
And it looks like you paid the credits to install it right away too. So
Yeah. Need that Eater. That really opens the game for me. Can we appreciate this amazing rig that we have here right now? Like just one card, and that's all you need. Running on his HQ, no res. He shows me the card, and I think that was still the Sherlock that we saw previously. So yeah, not much going on there.
we still haven't seen what this new remote is. Where he's got one face down piece of ice. He hasn't done much with that yet.
It's not Sherlock because that's still on his hand, so it must be something else. There is a Sandstone behind it, but he
that's
doesn't.
right. We did see that installed from the. bin.
That was the pet project that he showed me. But I don't know. He has to check my discard pile to see what else I have available here. Lots of juicy stuff in here. Oh yeah,
Lots of good stuff. The David there.
That's a splash actually. So this deck is actually inspired by Sly Squid's deck.
Okay.
But I put in the David in here because I really need it against the Blue Suns.
Yes, it doesn't matter which way you slice it. Blue Sun is going to be expensive for any non kind of like a David style breaker.
Yeah, definitely.
I was playing Quetzal deck there with E3s and had a David and Overmind for a little while. I found that worked really well once you got it set up. The problem was, it's as always, is the card draw and trying to get set up. Very slow against NEH, of course.
You need speed against NEH.
Yeah, and that's one thing that deck didn't have. But I tell you, HB and Wayland was nothing you could do once that Quetzal deck was put together.
Especially E3 against pirates is really nice because you can click once and use the E3 to get through.
Exactly.
That's so cute. Yeah, it really makes me actually. Every now and then people bring out those combo decks, and that kind of rekindles my appreciation for a certain card. Like E3 Quetzal actually makes me consider E3 in Criminal now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at the same thing. My number one runner deck there. Oh, here we go. We got a couple installs here.
2 installs in that server behind the Eli.
Very interesting, considering that we know that the other one is a Sansan.
Yeah.
So this could be maybe an Ash and something. We haven't seen a whole lot of influence here for his deck.
Count Siphon.
A Count Siphon, okay. Is he going to res that ice that he's been waiting on? He's sitting on 10 credits.
He has to spend the money, and I can get through with a Eater. Ooh, difficult. If he spends the money, maybe he has no money left, and I can get through the Eli. Ugh.
So if you have 4 credits, and he has 10, so if that ice costs you more than 4, then I would res it. If it costs you less than 4, then that makes it really tough to choice.
Yeah, let's see about that. He has a very difficult decision right now. Oh, 3 credits. It's going to be 3 credits. I guess it's another Eli.
Must be another Eli. And that's probably good. It's gonna cost you 4 to get through the Eli.
I can't click through it because then I won't be able maybe to get into that server.
It's a
no!
wall of static.
All of that nobody expects.
Interesting. Yeah, that is actually cheaper for you. That's only 2 credits.
It's even better now.
That is a bummer.
But he has of course the Sands, and I knew it already. But I'm getting down his money at least, so that's really nice.
Yeah, he's down to 1 credit.
And of course, I'm not triggering the Count Siphon, do I? Not think about this because right now. Oh yeah, I'm not triggering the Count Siphon. Oh, he shows me the card, but.
Oh, you paid with the Eater, but he shows it to you anyways. You shouldn't have gotten that.
Never mind about that. Not a big deal. It's just still the.
Because it's a Sherlock.
Sherlock. I guess I could have deduced that. Because I know that he hasn't installed any ice, and so that must be the Sherlock, right?
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything else here.
Okay, so mandatory draw here.
Oh no, I think I clicked through the Eli. No, I haven't clicked through the Eli. It couldn't be. It's not the Eli. Oh, whatever.
Because you're over the wall of static there, so you did break it with the Eater. So,
it's definitely misplay there. Yeah.
No problem. I think in that situation, there is no additional information you gained. You could have deduced that. So.
But it's a really tough situation for me right now. I'm trying to find some kind of venue of attack. I don't have too much money. I guess I would have to set up a keyhole situation right now because the HQ is really... There's just nothing on HQ. And he has the Sansan here and really needs to trash this somehow. Yeah. Alright, decide to run the server and click through Eli. He spends 2 credits to res the Ash.
Absolutely.
Trace 4, I can break it.
You can break it. He could pump by 1 if he doesn't want you to break it.
Let's see about that. Will he do it?
Looks like he's thinking. So the question is, what is that other card? Does he want you to break that and then not have the money to trash 2 different upgrades? Or is that an agenda he's trying to protect?
Okay, so he decides to put 1 token into it, so it's trace 5. I cannot pay it anymore.
Okay.
The funny thing is, I didn't hear that, so I still think that the trace is breakable. But I still decide because if the trace is breakable, then I assume that's not an agenda. And then I just trash the Ash, and that's it. And I get a credit, I guess. So we still don't know what it is. Cannot run again through the Eli here because I don't have anything that breaks him. I can use the Eater, of course, but then, of course, I wouldn't be able to access the card behind it.
That is right.
Doing the maximum punk rock, which is discarding 2 cards and drawing 1.
So we see a little more economy into there. And it would be nice to see what your hand is. I'm really curious as to what you're going to do right now. Very mid-game here.
I see some cutlery there, but I think none of the cutlery applies to anything what I'm seeing here, which is always very annoying.
Yeah, it would be very nice to see a knife to take care of that Eli.
And I think I spent my entire turn just getting credits. I need some fuel to kill. Discarding the keyhole here.
Ooh, okay. So you've abandoned that option.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much keyholing going on in my future. Or maybe there's a second keyboard. Oh man, and he scores that thing!
Ruining Max Day right there. Cronos Project from behind the Eli.
All of those cards!
Oh, that is everything. That is your punk rock ability, is to get those cards out of your trash, and now they're all gone. That is a lot of your economy. You've got some programs in there. Oh, wow.
That was painful.
That's definitely a resurgence for Cronos Project in the meta everywhere because of Max, and that's why right there. Here we go. So trashing a couple cards. Another retrieval run, which isn't any good to you now. All of your cards are gone from the game. So you're halfway through your stack there.
I mean, he's at 2 points, but that was almost like a game-winning move there. And he also says the Sands and rest, so any given point he can. Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
There's a keyhole. I decided to go with a keyhole plan. I mean, it's expensive, but I can keep just getting money and then doing it every turn if he doesn't ice it up even more.
That's right. And you do have your Hades Shard, so as long as you can find some economy in your stack left, you'll be okay. That's going to be a very tough game for both sides, I would say, unless... I mean, he's got to draw. He's got to find his other Jackson, because that's his second Jackson you just trashed.
Yeah, so there's just one more Jackson left.
That's right. So if he finds his Jackson first, I think he's going to ruin your day. But if you find his Jackson first, I think his day is going to be quite ruined. I'm excited to see what's the rest of this game. This has got very interesting.
All of a sudden, it got really, really crazy. All right, so he draws. I guess what he really wants to do right now is to make my keyhole runs very expensive. But he doesn't have any kind of money.
It's true. He has no money right now, so he can't even install over top, because you still need to pay that credit, and then you get your credit back.
Yeah.
To install over top there.
So he just tries to get my ammunition. I mean, the really cool thing is he can install, and he gets a credit for it. So that's a really nice way to get economy.
All right. So he clicks a credit as well. Trashing a wanton destruction and a fem. Oh, that's a good splash. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta have one fem in there just to get rid of. With retrieval run, it's a fem for 3 credits or 4 credits. I mean, it's very cheap for a fem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can get you over some really nasty ice. Like for example, the Architect would be a really great target for it.
Yeah, the Architect would be a wonderful target for that fem right now.
And also having a fem makes you kind of immune to Swordsman. And there we go.
NAPD. Okay, so we have. So that would be 6 points. You still need one more agenda you need to find and trash or somewhere, and then have the money to steal that NAPD.
Yeah. That's. I'm not exactly sure if that's the first or second NAPD in trash there, but yeah, there's an NAPD and I don't have the money to score it, so that doesn't even make sense to pop the Hades shot right now.
Not yet.
Really,
we do have
a really bad situation.
Exactly. There's a face down card in there, and we see a accelerated beta test in his hand, and we know. Okay, so limited agendas left in the R&D.
Let's see.
Weighing the pros and cons here.
Really tough battle here right now. But I really feel like he ices up the archives, but I don't know if that's really necessary right now, because I have the Shader Shard, so if I really want that stuff, I could get it. I guess he wants to prevent me from getting it without the Hades Shard first, so it forces me to use the Hades Shard now to get the agendas, which maybe delays me, and maybe he that gives him the extra time to find his last Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah, because if you can find his Jackson and install it, and you doesn't have to pop it when you run archives, so that would be nice for him.
Yeah.
So keyholing again, spending all your money. What do we see? Agenda, Jackson, anything good?
Ooh.
Okay.
Bad flavor. All right.
So curious to what you chose not to trash.
Yeah, sometimes the keyhole runs are just horrible. It's like, just random stuff. Yeah. But I guess, I don't know if he has how you call it, fast track in there. But biotic labor is always a good thing to get rid of.
Yes, absolutely. I would say he probably doesn't have fast track in this deck, seeing that we mostly 2-pointers and 1-pointers here.
Possible. All right, so he installs and scores, I'm assuming.
Oh, he stalls and yes, he is. Okay, so
And that is the accelerated beta test, but he decides not to use it because he could have gotten an agenda. I would probably immediately then pop the Hater shard and might win the game immediately next turn. So probably not the best idea to use the accelerated beta test. It's too risky without the Jackson out.
Yeah, it is plenty powerful as a 3/2. So
I'm doing the maximum punk rock.
So this ties the game up here, and it makes it going to be, I think, an economy game at this point. Of if you're able to keep your economy up enough to keep keyholing here without him gaining more than what he's got here. Oh, okay.
There we go. That's the second NAPD here.
Right.
So
where
winning number of agendas in the archives right now. I can win if I get them both, but I need 8 credits.
So you click for 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it's back to him. So is he going to find his Jackson right now? Save his day.
We see a card installer that might be actually the Jackson.
Oh boy. Lean your cards forward to the camera. Come on, lean them forward.
I really need to start installing those cameras behind the players, and of course underneath a glass table, so we can see what.
That's right. Like they have in poker. There, you put your face down cards on top of the camera.
That's right.
That's right. We wouldn't be able to use these beautiful playmats if that was the case.
Oh yeah, that would be. Oh, you could always have a glass playmat. Yeah, anyway, right. He installs a card there and gets the credits, so he just gets 3 credits. He just wants to really prepare for the eventual assault that might happen. All right, so I'm thinking about this. It's a heart-pounding moment for me right now, I can tell you.
Yeah, so you're
getting a credit, account siphon.
Account siphon, okay.
This could get me the money I need. Yeah.
Yep. So does he have something to res here? He does. Is that Daily Business Show?
That's a Daily Business Show, but it's just 2 credits. And then I'm getting 8 credits.
And now you can pop the Hades shard.
And I'm popping a Hades shard.
Oh boy. And there's nothing he can do here.
Nope.
There's 2 NAPDs for the game. Wow, that was intense.
Oh no, he had a Jackson!
Oh, he had a Jackson!
Oh, he had a Jackson!
Oh no! But it was your turn. He could have popped the Jackson on your account siphon before you got through.
Yes.
Oh no!
So the last opportunity for him would have been after I saying I want access with my account siphon. Then he should have popped the Jackson.
Absolutely. Before you gain your credits, you could have popped the Jackson there. That is intense. He had an ABT in hand. That could have also won him the game, having the money to do so. Oh.
I'm guessing he was very much focused on the ABT now. He really wanted to get the ABT through.
I think so.
And yeah, that's wow. That was a huge mistake on his side.
Absolutely. I think. Everybody at home, boys and girls, remember your timing windows.
Yes. The Hades shard. And to be honest, I really like the Hades shards. Generally the shards, not the Hades shards. Every shard. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's Utopia shard is where you discard 2 cards from their hand.
Yes.
Is that right? So I think that one is honestly every deck. Like if you're at 44 cards, I mean, who's honestly at 44 cards looking for a 45th? But if you are for some reason, put that card in your deck because it's always a good idea to trash card in your hand.
It's also always a good thing to consider when you are at 1 influence and you're thinking about where to spend this influence. Previously, you were putting like a stem hack in there, but now you can think about one of the shards.
Exactly.
All right, Alex. So you are from Northern Gaming Network. Can you tell our listeners about it a little bit?
Certainly. NorthernGamingNetwork.com is our home base. We do more than just Netrunner, but you can find our Netrunner stuff at NorthernGamingNetwork.com/tagme. That's our podcast. Also on YouTube, Northern Gaming Net. And basically we do all sorts of tabletop games, from X-Wing to Warhammer and War Machine and lots of Netrunner, tons of Netrunner.
Yes.
So, and that's of course my favorite, and so you can find us there and in all your gaming needs elsewhere.
Yes, some excellent videos. You guys should check them out. Those guys are really awesome. Alex, do you know how we usually end those videos?
How do we usually end those videos? I do not recall off the top of my head.
You don't know? Oh,
I can't remember.
So are you familiar with the movie Hackers?
I am.
Do you know what the slogan is of Hackers?
You're quizzing me here. Give me okay.
Something about hacking.
It's Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet!
Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car.
Excellent, well done.
Shit on me.
This episode of Netrunner TeamworkCast was created with a generous support from our listeners. If you enjoy the show and you can't get enough Netrunner videos, please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/hacktheplanet.